Yo, what up, everybody? It's your boy Odell. This video basically, we ain't talking about figures today. Um, this video is primarily going off of the Mayweather and Ortiz fight. Your boy is pissed. The reason why I'm pissed is because I'm sick and tired. I mean, we're gonna have a world full of haters, but I'm sick and tired of motherfuckers sitting there criticizing Floyd Mayweather, saying that it was a cheap shot. The cheap shot of the fight was Ortiz doing the headbutt. Okay, I will try and put the clip of the video after this one so everybody can sit there and see it. The dude clearly jumped and forced his head into Floyd Mayweather's head. It wasn't no accidental two people sitting there colliding their fucking heads. This dude literally sat here and headbutted Floyd Mayweather. So on Facebook, on here, people are not commenting about that. People are just basically sitting here talking about how Floyd Mayweather sat there and cheap shot and won the fight. That he's not a classy fighter. Even the fucking commentators on HBO was sitting there saying, legal hit, but not a classy fighter. What are you talking about, not a classy fighter? Alright, here's my problem. You hate on Floyd, and these are to the fucking commentators on HBO and the fucking what's his name, Larry Merchant. Here's why you hate Floyd Mayweather. The number one, the reason why you hate Floyd Mayweather is because he's black. Okay, that's one. Fucking Larry Merchant. One, you hate his ass because he's black. Okay. Number two, he's getting paid, and y'all asses ain't. Okay, Floyd Mayweather is making money like crazy, and y'all motherfuckers aren't. All right, those are the two top reasons why you're sitting there and you hate. Nobody can hands down just sit there and say that Floyd Mayweather is no doubt in his division the best pound for pound fighter ever. He is 42-0. Okay, if everybody saw this fight that happened tonight, you can clearly look and see, one, point was deducted from Ortiz for the headbutt. All right, both fighters go to the corner. Come on out. After the point was deducted, come on out and fight. All right, this is boxing. This ain't no motherfucking let me hug and kiss you in the middle of the fucking ring. This is boxing. My goal is to knock you the fuck out, as well as your goal is to knock me the fuck out. Okay, so Ortiz comes into the center of the ring, puts his hands out, says, you know what? Hey, I'm sorry. They touched gloves, but immediately, if you look at it, Mayweather puts his hands up to defend himself. Again, in boxing, you always defend yourself. No matter what, you defend yourself. Ortiz puts his hands down to his waist-side, backs up. That was your mistake, homie. That was your mistake. You should have touched gloves. Boom. Defend yourself while you backing up, because now you're getting ready to get back into fighting. Then when you got popped with the left hand, you're looking at the fucking ref like, hey, he just hit me with the boom. Now you got hit with the right. Dumb fuck. You lost the fight on your own stupidity. Common sense would have sat there and said, hey, hands up. And what does the referee sit there and say at the beginning of every fight? Defend yourself at all times. Touch gloves, come out boxing. Alright? If you wanted to apologize to fucking Mayweather for headbutting him, which was the cheap shot, you should have did that shit after the fight. Because if you did, and you came out in the middle of the ring with your hands up ready to fight, you probably would have won a few more rounds. You wouldn't have won shit because you were getting your ass tagged all the damn time, but you probably would have won a few more rounds. But that did not happen. So to all the fucking haters out there who hate Floyd Mayweather because he's still undefeated, because he's the best pound for pound fighter in the world, because he's black, and because he's making a shitload of fucking money, and you're probably making about $7 an hour, fuck y'all. Okay? Hands down, give credit where credit is due. Mayweather was up on the cards throughout the 4 rounds. He was going to win the fight regardless. Okay? But what pisses me off, and Larry Merchant, I don't know if you look at YouTube, I don't know if you get on YouTube, but if you do and you so happen to catch my video, fuck you, you racist prick. Larry Merchant is a racist bastard. He never gives any black boxers credit when credit is due. He always tries to find something to turn around and sit there and degrade them. And Floyd, like I said, I don't know if Floyd looks at YouTube, but dude, if you watching, thumbs up for sitting there telling him that you don't know shit. You should have sat there and honestly told him, hey, you know what, Larry? Fuck you. Alright? But you handled the business and you sat there and told Larry Merchant you don't know shit. You don't know shit about boxing. Brother, from now on, if you fight any more fights after this, if Larry Merchant, don't even let Larry Merchant come up to you and even try and do an interview. Tell him to go fuck himself and find another reporter to sit there and come do an interview. The dude has no respect for black boxers. He always sat there and wanted to talk some type of a stupid shit with Mike Tyson. I am so glad that live on ESPN, live on HBO, Larry Merchant got his ass pretty much verbally handed to him. And that's 2 thumbs up for Floyd Mayweather to do that. People can sit there and say, oh, that's no class, that's no class. Well, you know what? After years and years of hearing this racist prick that he is, of him just always never giving credit when credit is due, but he sits there and he gives credit to all these other boxes outside of the black skin color. Look, just hands down, I'm glad the motherfucker sat there and got his ass handed to him verbally. So, like I said, Larry Merchant, from the black community to you, fuck you. Alright? Fuck you. You ever come through the hood, you get your ass jumped. Now, back to the Ortiz and the Mayweather fight. Again, people, look at the clip. I'm going to try and put the clip after this. Alright? Ortiz puts his hands down. That is your first mistake. That is your first mistake. Because after the ref says, hey, boom, let's continue. Round 4, let's go. You fucked up. Because once he says continue, that clock is going. And that's basically saying, hey, I can throw a punch at you. Now, should Mayweather sit there and wait and sit there and say, hey, are you ready? Hell no. Who the fuck sits there and wants to wait and say, hey, okay, are you ready to fight now? After you apologize, you good? Now we can fight? No. You're in that ring for one specific reason and purpose. It's to knock that other motherfucker out. And you need to defend yourself at all times. I've seen fighters sit there and get hit with a low blow, and it probably didn't hurt them, but the next thing you know, they're like, wait a minute, they stop defending themselves, and they look at the ref and say, hey, did you see that? Then next thing you know, they got clocked with a right hook, and then they're on the mat. And then they want to sit there and say that was a cheap shot. No, motherfucker, you stopped fighting, and you looked at the ref like, yo, did you see that shit? No. If the ref does not sit there and say anything, you back yourself off. You give yourself at least 5 to 6 feet between you and the other fighter. Then you look at the referee and say, yo, he's hitting me below the belt. Or when the round is over with, your trainer sits there and asks for the referee to come through and be like, hey, the motherfucker sat there and he's hitting my fighter below the belt. We need you to sit there and watch that shit. You don't stop in the middle of a fight and look at the referee and say, yo, he just hit me there. What are you going to do? Next thing you know, you're getting clocked because you did not defend yourself. Alright? So again, all these commentators off of HBO and Larry Merchant, you guys can go jump off a fucking cliff and go fuck yourself because you're hating on the brother because he's making money. I mean, everybody wants to sit there and say he's arrogant and he's conceited. Hey, that's his lifestyle. If he wants to flash his money around, and if he wants to sit there and say, hey, I got this, I got that, I got this, I got that, it's Floyd Money Mayweather, that's on him. That's his fucking business. That's his life. The brother sat there and earned every dollar that he sat there and made. I can sit there and I can say that, hey, I listen to Tupac. That's my favorite fucking rapper. You know, that's my opinion. I'm entitled to that shit. If you want to hate on me because I love Tupac, then, you know, so be it. That's on you, but my opinion is what matters to me. But everybody else want to sit there and talk about, oh, his outside life, he's arrogant, he's a dick. Well, if he's a dick, don't watch his fights. Because those same people that are sitting there calling him a dick and saying he's arrogant are sitting there paying to watch his fights. You're putting money into his pocket. If you don't sit there and if you don't give two shits about Floyd Mayweather, then you know what? Get on Yahoo Sports and just click to get an update. You don't have to pay and sit there and watch the fight. So, people, just stop hating on the brother. Just stop hating on the brother. Because I guarantee you, had it would have been somebody else, classy fighter, whatever, they would have said, oh, well, you know, hey, that's boxing. You need to defend yourself at all times. It was a legal hit. And it was actually, you know, hey, if I would have done the same thing. That's what they probably would have said if it was somebody else. But because he's Floyd Mayweather, oh, it's a cheap shot. It was legal, but, you know, he's not a classy fighter. Whatever, people. Like I said, those are my thoughts on it. I'm sure a whole bunch of people will disagree with what I have to say. And guess what? You're entitled to sit there and do that. You're entitled to say that Larry Merchant isn't a racist prick. You're entitled to say Floyd Mayweather is a conceited bastard. You're entitled to say whatever. My opinion is what counts to me, and I'm just putting it out there that hands down Floyd Mayweather is the best pound for pound fighter in the world. It was a legal hit, and call it payback for sit there and doing a cheap shot headbutt. That's the way that I look at it. You did a cheap shot headbutt, therefore you got knocked the fuck out. Like Chris Tucker said, you got knocked the fuck out.